But yeah, I needed to. I definitely, when Shad passed away, that really lit a fire underneath me. Because at first when he passed away, then as it started to set in, and like reality started to kick in. Because at first it's like so unreal, and then when life gets real, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do with your wrestling career? Like, I didn't want to wrestle no more. Like, because I knew if I went back to the wrestling, being backstage, they're gonna keep bringing up Chad. At the time I was really sensitive about the situation, so I didn't want to be around people who's gonna keep bringing it up over and over again. And then as time went by, I kind of it was like, I just have to accept it. It's like, accept it. You love wrestling, and Shad wouldn't want you to stop wrestling. What Shad would want you to do is even represent the team and go on and headline WrestleManias, be champion, get yourself and get your mind right. So after keeping to myself and sitting in silence, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right, and I switched to look up, and I just kept getting different ideas, and I kept incorporating it into my look. I started going crazy at the gym, and now I'm a main eventer. And I
see,
yeah,
I guess a little fire underneath you, but but it was very interesting because 8 years passed between you leaving the WWE and then being at the Hall of Fame in 2022 to honor Shad and the Warrior Award. And how important was that moment for you? Because I've read stories where it seemed like you weren't even supposed to be on stage, and yet
I wasn't.
and then there you are on the stage, and I think it would have been very awkward for fans. But what was your situation? Well, how did your day go that day? Because obviously a lot of emotions must have been flying around.
Yeah, I was just happy to be there. I was happy to see Shad, get honored. I knew I had going there. I knew I was just gonna sit on stage with the talent. I thought that was kind of weird, but I didn't say anything. It wasn't my time. That was Shad's time, and I don't know what plans they had, so I didn't want to intrude or anything. So I just, let me just be here for the moment. And then I don't know if I can say his. I don't want to get heat for saying his name, but because he's had a ton of heat right now. John Laurinaitis, he's the one who originally hired me. We talked, we powwow out for a little bit, and he asked, "So you do anything tonight?" I'm like, "No, I'm just here. I'm just sitting on stage." He was like, "You're not doing anything?" He gave me that look like, "You're not doing anything?" And he was like, what would you do if we want to get you? If I wanted to get you involved, like what? I was like, I could do the Cryme Tyme handshake with Shad's son, and I could escort him out. Like he was like, all right, let me get back to you. Let me work on something. And then the show started. I was already sitting in the stage, and I kind of thought it was a wash because I know that WWE likes to rehearse stuff before you do it live on TV. So I was like, okay, we're not doing it. I sit down, the show started, and then I get a tap on the shoulder, and they're like, they want you to escort. I'm like, oh, we're gonna do this. And then, but prior to that, I kind of like gave Araya, that's Shad's son. I showed him the handshake. We went over about 1 or 2 times just to make sure we don't fumble the ball when if we do get the opportunity. And we got the ball and we hit a touchdown. We did it. He nailed it.
Wow. That again, I think first off, shocking that you weren't going to be included in the process. I just think you're there. Why not? It doesn't make any sense. But yet, John Laurinaitis, I'm not going to talk about him and bury him or anything, but obviously him hiring you and then him looking out for you. He saw you there and said, "Hey, man, you're not doing anything." Like, even I'm shocked as well, and I'm glad that he probably talked to you that day and set that all up. But before that situation, like when you got the phone call, like, "Hey, we want you just to be on the stage, like just to sit and watch."
I didn't even get a call from WWE.
Would you sneak in?
No, I didn't sneak in. I was invited by Shad's wife.
Okay.
Yeah, I was invited by Shad's wife. Shad's wife invited me.
This is even more awkward. I am just so baffled. Like, you have me, usually have a word for everything. This is like mind bending to think, oh, hey, we're going to honor.
It was a busy weekend. Maybe it was overlooked.
That is,
I don't know, but I was there.
you can keep smiling all you want, but I that doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like someone didn't want to acknowledge the presence of how Cryme Tyme was such a well-oiled machine and then got fumbled. And so if bringing you up might bring some thoughts of like, oh, this is great for Shad, but like, what the hell happened to Cryme Tyme? Like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I have no idea, or you just or you weren't thought of, but like wouldn't you think personally that you would be so when his wife calls you
Yeah.
and you're like, oh yeah, of course I'll be there, but did you put the phone down and go, well, why's the
Why didn't
phone
they call me?
call, yeah, what's
Of
going on
course,
here?
of course I did. But with me, I don't like to go straight to the negative. Um, I mean, I said to my, because I didn't want to. I had so much stuff going on. I didn't let stuff. I don't like to let stuff like that ruin my day or jump to conclusions. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, maybe they reached out to his wife because maybe they didn't want to reach out to everybody, and she would be the person to litigate the tickets or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
I didn't. It could have bothered the average man, but I'm not the average man. I don't like to let stuff bother me at all. I don't.